welcome back to Little Miss Drop Stitch. Last week, which I will link down below for you if you've not seen it, we discussed the cold hard facts of what you can make on each of the popular platforms for selling knitting and crochet patterns, which is Etsy, Ravelry and LoveCrafts. Today I thought it would be a good idea to discuss the pros and cons of selling on each site, including, usability, accessibility, profit, all of that good stuff. If you like this video or find it interesting, please do give us a like, thumbs up, subscribe and all that good stuff so we can continue to be creative. No mess about today, let's just dive straight in. So the pros of selling on Etsy is it's a large audience with a worldwide opportunity, and that audience also expects to be paying for the services. You can sell patterns digitally or a physical copy that you can post out to customers, and it's quick to set up a listing, and listings can be cloned as well. You can also set up coupons and it will send push emails to customers. For example, if they've something in your basket, you can set up a coupon that's 10% off for people that's got things in the basket to encourage them to buy. The cons of selling on Etsy: there's lots of little fees, especially if you watched our last video that's linked down below, and it's really hard to keep track of how much you're actually making. It's so confusing. On one sale I had a fee for VAT auto-renew sold, processing fee, transaction fee, regulatory operating fee, VAT transaction 7p, VAT processing fee and a listing fee auto-renew. Really confusing. I still don't get it. Fees amount to quite high, as you can tell, and it is a really saturated market, and even AI listings of knit and crochet patterns are popping up and taking over. It's very SEO competitive, which is this technical algorithm triggering thing, and it's difficult if you don't have that knowledge, or it's costly to hire someone, which I have done myself personally, didn't work out. So yeah, it's just really hard to be seen. And there's also a listing fee, which you have to pay before you list the item, so before you've even sold anything. That's 20 pence, or the equivalent in your country to 20 cents or whatever, and it can become expensive if you have a few listings. Second platform, we're firing through it today. It's Ravelry, and the pros of selling on Ravelry is it is aimed directly for the fibrette, so knitting, crochet, machine knitting. This makes it clearer for buyers to find what they actually want. You can mark patterns within lots of different niches and categories, such as construction, ethnic designs, age and size, functions such as a hat or homeware, which can make it easy to sell, and I do like that as a buyer actually. So I could filter by Latvian ethnic knitting designs. Some people have actually managed to build up a dedicated and loyal following of buyers. Iron Lamb comes to mind, the crochet in the round, granny go round designer, and buyers can keep your patterns in their library and organise them digitally, which is quite nice. There is email support if you're struggling to set up and do the technical bits of setting up your pattern store. You can also create coupons. There's low selling fees, and buyers are encouraged to upload their own make, which is helpful to others to see what colours they've used, or it just encourages pattern sales as well. And there are no listing fees. The cons of selling on Ravelry: well, like all good stuff, it's becoming saturated as well, which can, you get lost and things like that in the listings. It can be confusing to set up a listing, and I've emailed email support in the past and you don't always get a reply, because, and I appreciate they're a really small team, but yeah, I've not always got a reply myself personally. Some people go on there and filter to just free patterns, so as an indie designer I feel obliged to make stuff for free, even though I'm putting the same amount of work into it, just to get noticed. Ravelry did lose some of its audience, so your potential buyers and customers, a few years ago, due to a website redesign that was inaccessible for some people, and quite a few buyers left the platform because of that. Our final selling platform for knitting and crochet patterns, which indie designers can also access, is LoveCrafts. The pros of selling on LoveCrafts is that there is a wide audience, and both indie and commercial patterns are available, so you can kind of sit side by side with the commercial big brand patterns, which is nice. LoveCrafts attracts an audience because its primary focus is selling wool and tools as a shop, so it gives indie designers the opportunity to be seen in a commercial setting. Good news, listings can be imported from Ravelry with a few clicks of buttons, so it's nice and quick with just a few amendments needed. There's no listing fees with LoveCrafts, and you can actually link their wool to the listing as kind of recommended wool to do the project, and this is another way that they help indie designers to try and get noticed on the wool listings. So let's pretend you click on Stylecraft special ball of wool to buy, it will come up with suggested patterns which you've actually linked your pattern to the wool. The cons of selling on LoveCrafts: well, it's really saturated and select listings are highlighted, so again you might get lost. LoveCrafts pushes free patterns and the audience might only come for this, which means creating work for free just to get noticed. Selling fees are really high, so even though they're kind of promoting and about giving indie designers the opportunity, it's actually geared towards the bigger sellers who can claim that 20% VAT charge back. A buyer actually has to click on a specific yarn linked for you to come up as a suggested pattern to make with that yarn, so you still might not show up because there's just thousands of balls of wool, you know, to pick from, so you might not show up but someone else might. There we have it, quick fire pros and cons of selling on each platform. I'm really interested in your opinion, so do let us know down there in the comments, both as a seller and a buyer, of which platforms you prefer or don't and why. Thank you, take care, and don't forget to give us that like, thumbs up, subscribe.